Here with reaction, author of the brand new book, by the way, a bestseller, Understanding Trump, former Speaker of the House, Fox News contributor, Newt Gingrich. You know, you said something this weekend that really is true, but should be scary to every American. People are going to be indicted over something that has nothing to do with the original investigation.
Look, I absolutely believe that. If you look at, it gets worse the more I've done research over the last 3 or 4 days. The State Department, or the Justice Department, the Department of Justice, has 97% of its donations went to Hillary Clinton, 3% went to Trump. That's at the Justice Department. That was bad enough as a culture. Now it turns out that the law firm that Mueller comes from was this is almost hard to believe, 99.81% of their money went to Hillary Clinton. It was like $360,000 to a total of $678. So you have this very biased culture at the Department of Justice, which is 97% for Hillary in terms of donations. They then reach out to an even more biased law firm, which is at 99.81%, to find the lawyer to head up the nonpartisan, remember, nonpartisan investigation. He then hires 4 key lawyers, all of whom donated to Democrats. As you pointed out, my favorite is the one who defended the Clinton Foundation against Freedom of Information Act.
It worked for Hillary.
It's unbelievable. You know, as somebody who occasionally writes novels, I don't know that I'd have the nerve to write this novel. But if somebody wants to know what the deep state is, start up here with the Justice Department's 97%, come down then to the law firm at 99.81%, pick a group of lawyers who are hardcore Democrats, 2 of whom, by the way, also had prosecutorial problems because they hid evidence from the defendants. One was repudiated 9-0 by the Supreme Court. And you look at this pattern, and I think it's not defensible.
Rosenstein wrote a 2-page memo saying Comey has to go. Okay. Right. So Comey then leaks to the New York Times. Then Comey then gets his BFF to be the special counsel. Rosenstein contributes to all of this. And now he's talking about shifting away from Russia-Trump collusion, the lie, into obstruction and finances. This is dangerous for this country. Both of them need to recuse themselves and get out of the way. Why are they even still there?
Well, I mean, you have to question the entire special investigatory process that brings in these headhunters who are very high-powered lawyers. They're not going to leave until they get somebody. And that was my point over the weekend. You know, Karl Rove wrote a very good column last week in the Wall Street Journal because he's lived through this. And he said, you have to be very worried about special investigators running amok. And he cited, in his own case, he had forgotten 1 phone call. Now, imagine how many phone calls somebody in Karl's position in the White House was getting. He forgot 1 phone call that was months ago or a year ago. They almost indicted him for forgetfulness. I mean, that's how vindictive, that's how powerful the criminal powers of the state are.
Scooter Libby had a perjury trap. By the way, I want to send our thoughts and prayers to the family of this young man, Otto, that just recently returned from North Korea. He died tonight. I am so sad for this family. I want to ask you one final question, and I think this is important. I really believe this rhetoric, this hatred that I talked about in my opening monologue, the Shakespeare, the ISIS pose, the rhetoric, the hate, the violence directed at this president to dehumanize him is now extraordinarily dangerous. Your thoughts?
It's extremely dangerous, and it's much deeper than just Trump. I talked to college students at the College Republican National Convention this week. I asked them, how many of you feel intimidated in your campus? 1/3 of them raised their hands. I've had students tell me that they are literally intimidated against saying that they were for Trump because they thought it would cost them 2 or 3 grade levels from their professor. This anti-conservative, anti-Trump, anti-Republican pattern is very deep. It's very widespread. It's in the newsrooms. It's in Hollywood. it's in the academic community, and it's in the bureaucracy. And that's what the deep state's all about. And that's why this fight's going to go on for all 8 years of the Trump presidency.
It's now a fourth branch of government, and the media colluding with them is even worse. 11 months of lies, no apologies, no retractions. No, we're going to get this right. By the way, Mr. Speaker, congrats on the book, Understanding Trump, Amazon.com, Hannity.com, bookstores everywhere. Thank you, sir, for being with us.